Howdy, partner. How's everybody doing? Today I am ready to do another test. Last week, I think it was, we did Dusk versus Hydra. Now, you guys knew Dusk versus Hydra was an interesting take, but in general, the more interesting one that I personally believe is Hellcat versus Dusk, because these two are really, they're kind of sort of similar. They're really there to be built hybridly, not just fully with one thing. And today we're just gonna try out a few combinations that we have here and there to see which one's gonna be best. So buckle up, everybody, and we're gonna do right about now. So we're gonna start off here with Hellcat, top, middle, and bottom. The interesting part about this is that it has a lot of stamina, as you can see here, a lot of stamina here and a lot of stamina there. This is almost as good as Angel. I mean, maybe even as good as Angel when it comes to the stamina stats. I mean, it's just wild. Obviously, we don't have the same skills, but in general, this is just so good. Hellcat is probably my most favorite set that there is in the game right now. There's a few other that I'm interested in as well, which is, for example, Spectre. I like Spectre because it's defense, right? I enjoy that a lot. You know, what we really need in this game is like a dummy where we can test things on. I mean, this is kind of really annoying that it doesn't really exist for me, because you always have to try it out against players, try it against this and that, but it would be so much easier to have just like a dummy standing around where you could go and test your damage. Just a little bit better than using boulders or anything around that. So what I like to use is this one, but I can only use it like every 2 minutes or so, and that is kind of just a little bit sad. But anyways, we're gonna go in. Let me just show you the what I have right now. Let's go away from that guy. We have let's go and put a little bit into strength. What we have is stamina, attack, and speed. That's like the more basic loadouts that I always run. I always put in 400 to 700 speed, depending on the build, how much is over and how much is not. Then we have stamina with 1000, and then attack with 2600, which will give us a lot of survivability, especially in PvE and also in PvP. And then we have 2602 right now into attack, and that's going to give us a lot of strength as well, a lot of damage. And if you pair this with Monarch, which is also available in the Spirits tab, which is right over here, right at the bottom next to Unbreakable, so it's very much spinnable. Really strong. It's going to increase your attack by 85% and stamina by 40%. And the stats on it, though, not really that good, but what it really is good is the effect that we have out of this one. So really nice. Then we pair this with a lightning crystal for the damage if you would need that. I did put in the Moonlight Flurry. It's the same video that I did with the battle tower, so if you're interested in that, go back, watch that, and come back in here. I think I even made a mistake. The middle part was not the focus part, so it wasn't the full Hellcat set anyway, but still, we're gonna try this out. So let's go in here and use the Fury Blaze, do some damage, yeah, and maybe use the focus as well, but I'm just gonna try going in with the Fury Blaze and see how much damage we do. And yep, that's a lot of hits. That's like 74k hits, which is just wild. We're gonna go on to the boulders here, which is not always ideal, but they're really strong as well. So let's just bring them out, see how many normal hits that we can do. So that's 35k. Wow. That is a lot. 35k and 44,000. I think that's the highest damage that I have ever recorded in normal hits. 35k, and down. Another 35k. So we basically crit damage at 45k, which is really interesting. Let's use this one. That's 40k normal hits. That's just wild. Let's see if we can get a 47k, 49k out of it as well using the lightning crystal, which also scales off stamina. So here we have another synergy that's going on with the stamina that we have right here. So really nice as well. This whole setup is just really wonderful. I mean, especially when it comes to the damage. 44,000 crit is just so wild, while actively having 123,000 HP is, to me, basically a little mind-boggling and just super strong. So normal hits 35k. It's just exactly what we want. Sadly, we can't test the tick damage here because Fury Blaze doesn't work like that. You have to use it differently. You have to use it against an actual player or trainer. So as you can see, just damage itself while having and sustaining 120k HP is absolutely wild. And if you look at it, this is tier 5. Although I do have to say, powerful 5s is really hard to get. Not impossible, but it is possible to get. And apart from that, also you could use the strong trait, which is half of it, what we have here, which is like 12. I don't know, my math right now is a little bit off, but so along those lines of like, I don't know, 20k, maybe a little less, maybe like 17k or 18k, 18%, sorry, somewhere along those lines. It's somewhere there with a strong trait. Yeah, you will still have the same HP while doing maybe a little bit less damage, but you can still obtain these parts quite easily nowadays. But the damage is just wonderful. It's just really nice. Normal hits hits, that's definitely where this build is going to be strengthened in. Oh, really strong, especially if we use, let's just quickly go over there and do another fight with this guy, because we also have focus. I haven't even tried focus with it. Let's see if focus actually works on it. I don't even know. Let's do that. Focus is on it, and boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Those were 344Ks or something like that. That's just wild. Just insane to me to see 44K, 35K now. This is just so strong. It will guarantee the crit damage, the crit chance, which is just really interesting. So, doing damage with that. And the good thing is, since you're already like a very hands-on, basically, type of Bey that goes in for basic attacks, parry goes with this very well. You will become immune to any skill for the next second, and you will heal with a successful parry. So if you are very skilled with parry play, you can even heal up quite a bit from that as well. And again, just keep that in mind, sustaining 120k. So that was Hellcat, probably one of my more favorite thingies as well. It's going to be really difficult to beat that. So we're going to go to Dusk right now. Let me find that. I have a tier 5 Dusk somewhere laying around. You know what? I think it's super, super annoying that they don't let us search. They don't let us search the parts once we're in here. It's really annoying to then find Dusk or whatever you need in that case. So we have powerful Dusks as well. Let's bring that in here as well and see where it is. There it is. So obviously the stat line is a little bit different. Well, it's a little bit different in the terms of here. I think we have lost about 500 strength because we were almost at 7k as far as I believe. I don't know about the HP department. Let me actually whip out that blade and see. We have a little bit less HP as well. So I think overall in general, the Dusk is going to be a little bit less of everything, because you can see, especially on the Dusk middle part, it's only 4 stars. And here's another 4 stars. Same goes for the attack. But here's the thing though, Flame Claw is stronger than Fury Blaze, and Dragon Fire and Dragon Strike is also stronger, you know, than parry and stuff. So this one is basically fully equipped for damage, just damage. So Dragon Breath is gonna go off defense, which I think with this thing here, with this blade, is a little bit weird. So what you could potentially do here is, instead of using the 1000 into stamina, you can put in just a little bit and then the rest into defense, because defense here is, as you can see, also in the mix. So you could potentially actually cut down the stamina to defense, maybe do 500 stamina, 500 defense to use the Dragon Breath as well. But I think Dusk setup is a little bit funky on itself. So I'm gonna try it like this now, and then we're gonna switch around some of the skills to see what that actually pairs up with. So we're gonna start off with Flame Claw, which is just really strong. I think Flame Claw is one of the strongest. It was even nerfed just immediately once they buffed it. But yeah, look at that. That was a one hit. Flame Claw, so really, really strong. We're gonna go to the boulders right now. It always depends on what train it is. The trainer switch. Sometimes they have more HP, sometimes they have less, so we can't necessarily go fully on that. That's why I hope for dummies that we can try on. That would be so nice. So right now we can crit at 41k. It's a little bit less. You're gonna do 32,000 damage here, which is still... if we come to think of it, which is still very, very strong. So 41k instead of 44s or 47s. So very strong indeed. Still, we have a little bit of less damage, but we have more interesting skills that we can try out. One of them is Dragon Strike, of course. Critting here at almost 60k. Really strong. That was almost the entire damage. Dragon Breath, which is obviously still really, really strong, as you can see here. It does a few 200, 300, and so on. But of course, this will rise if you change your skill, if you stat load out to a little bit more defense. So right now, with this build that I have, Dragon Breath is kind of useless. So we're going to use Dragon Breath here. You see just a few, doing a little bit of damage here and there. So what Dusk really wants is wants you to use, instead of more stamina, wants you to use more defense, which will then scale. So let's do that again. That's another 53k. And again, Flame Claw does tick damage, so it's not going to work on the boulders, but let's use that. Does it? Yeah, no, it doesn't. But still, really, really strong, and you can do a lot of stuff with it as well. Of course, if you pair it with Moonlight Flurry, look at that. This is just wild. Now, Dragon Breath doesn't really work that well, so we're going to reset our attributes, and we're going to put them up to, I don't know, let's give it like a good 1,500 to defense. Let's give another, let's do 700 into stamina, another 300 into speed. With defense builds, you can actually go less and do 200 speed, or even none at all. It depends on your playstyle, and the rest is gonna go into attack. So this is what the Bey really wants, basically. It kind of wants you to like switch around here and there. Let's see how much HP that we can rock with. So we have 80 2k now in HP, but we have a high amount of defense, which means the damage that we're gonna be back is almost gonna be nullified. It depends. Before we only did 200 damage with Dragon Breath. Let's use this C now and see. This one does now 2Ks, and you can see it's actually rising, and it's a damage over time, which is really interesting. The Flame Claw obviously does less, and now we're doing about 20k to 21s, which is not the crit. 21s should be the normal state. 26 is the crit. Almost 30k hits, which is still very, very viable, as you can see, in damage and stuff as well. Now, the big question remains, which one do I think is better than the other? I personally like the fact that you have more defense is good, but I just think that Hellcat might still be better. Just depends on the playstyle here, because you have Dragon Breath, Dragon Strike, Flame Claw, 3 attacking damages, damaging attacks and skills. On the other one, you have more of a kit that is all around good. You can use in many different things. It's going to be very controversial. You guys will tell me in the comment section which ones you personally like best. I personally like Hellcat more, but we've done some testing on the Dusk, and I'm going to tell you Dusk is extremely well-rounded, because right now you can't really see much of the defense. If we're going to go and let's go into the 2000 fight here again, I think you might be able to see a little bit more why defense is so strong, because it just is able to defend a little bit better than Hellcat is, but Hellcat's away HP as well. So we're in here right now with 80k. We're being damaged, and you can see with the 2000, which is the same level as I am, there's not much really happening. I mean, we still have a lot of time left to play some things. Go up into this guy and just basically finish it. Obviously, we wouldn't let our opponent cut our stuff this much down, but yeah, in general, really strong. But I think Hellcat can give us just this little more edge of being just more versatile in general. But that's just my personal opinion itself. I mean, you can see whatever you like more. These are very accessible. Dusk is buyable, so it's very easy. It's probably easier for the people who have actual real-life money that is going to spend more real-life cash, because you can get them in the shop. Don't worry, at one point this will be available to everybody. Everybody will be available to get it, but right now it's in the shop, which is right over here. You can get it in here, and while you draw, you can even get the Dragon Breath Fragment and some of the auras that are in here as well, which is the special pack. But I think Hellcat, since it's more accessible, since it's easier to get because you can get it in the tower, in the battle tower, I think Hellcat is just gonna be a little teensy-weensy bit better in general and overall. You tell me what you think. Tell me in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.